Super Eagles will finish till I think end of the year now. But after today, tomorrow, or early morning tomorrow, all the international break will finish. Then after tomorrow, we'll go back to club football. I know everybody's waiting for that club football to start. Once it's Friday, it's luck everywhere go down still. We'll go back to club football. For now, we'll still talk about club football. Nigeria is going to play Jordan today by 6:30. Then we have a lot of games today in Europe. The finals of the European World Cup qualification will happen today. Let's see the four countries actually that will make it to the World Cup 2026 in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin. Today, we'll talk about international football again. Good morning, also.
Good morning, Good morning, Godwin. Welcome to another exciting show. It is going to be because we can't wait. We can't wait for the Super Eagles game against Jordans. It's going to be a wonderful, mind-blowing game. But good morning to everyone listening to us right now. You guys are the real MVP.
Good morning, John.
Yes, a phenomenal morning to you, Godwin. A phenomenal morning to everybody listening live on YouTube and on Radio Guardian, as well as driving by or listening on the radio. You are the real MVP. And today, we have a very important game against Jordan. Yes. As it was in the beginning, River Jordan was packed today and will give them 4-0 and come back home in a dominant performance. If you are with me, clock it, please. If you are with me, clock it. Simple.
Okay, let's see. A lot of games that happen today. Everywhere in the world, games happening today. Even early morning tomorrow, around 12 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. games are around. But the main game today is going to be that World Cup qualification in Europe. That is where everybody's eyes focused on, and the Super Eagles. So let's start with yesterday's game. There are just few games that happened yesterday's game. Ghana lost again yesterday. Before let's start with yesterday's game before we go back come to today's game. Ghana lost yesterday 2-1 to Germany. Because of that, they sacked their coach. So they just sacked their coach and they're going to look for a new coach before the World Cup. They lost 2 goals to Harvard scored in that game. I think it was generally a good game for Ghana. It was 1-1 at some point, but Germany scored to make it 2-1. Bam! After the game, they sacked the coach. Part of the thing they sacked their coach is because he didn't qualify for the Nations Cup. Ghana failed to qualify for the last Nations Cup. We qualified for the World Cup, but he didn't make it to the Nations Cup. So and he's been playing defensive football too much. Because of all those things, he plays stay at the back, 5 at the back actually. Because of all these things, they sacked him. But generally, a good game for Germany.
The question is, when they were recruiting this man, didn't they know that this is what he plays? Like, he plays defensive football, because it's one thing for you to bring somebody on, it's another thing for you to now come and sack somebody, because just like what happened with Manchester United, sorry, shots fired, but it is what it is. Baba was playing his back three. Now you brought him to Ghana. He's still playing his formation. You can't expect the manager to change overnight. And then secondly, I would have felt that qualifying for the World Cup is a bigger coup than failing to qualify for
all of
the
them are
Nations
bad.
Cup.
All of them are bad. Can you not qualify for the Nations Cup?
Baba, you qualify for World Cup.
Have you seen the group for
You
Nations
qualify
Cup?
for the World Cup.
Have
Simple.
you seen the group for Nations Cup?
It don't pass. Sorry, you cannot have you can't have everything you want all at the same time. You can't have it all and at the same time. So he deliver World Cup, and I bet you Nigeria will trade World Cup for Nations Cup any day, anytime, any day, in a heartbeat, straight up.
Okay.
Do you know what it would mean for us to see our players at this age at the World Cup, at the height of their powers, according to some people? So yes, I understand that, but I feel like, they went too far. They should have given him a little bit more leeway, especially this close to the World Cup, because whoever you are going to bring, maybe this is going to be the last international break before the World Cup. I feel it's totally uncalled for.
Okay, the game 2-1. Let's talk about Germany first. I know they sacked Ghana sacked their coach, but Germany have a good squad. They have been winning games. They have scored a penalty, even though that Ghana equalized. But Ghana scored.
Opening the scoring with a penalty is kind of a good one. It means you have something going for you in the offensive, and the defenders were actually good on their job. They were kind of defending everything. But going back to the German team now, you see, last time I was telling you about Florian Wirtz and all his goal scoring abilities in the German teams that we've not seen in the Premier League yet. Though now people are calling him flop of the Premier League. I don't know why, but it is what it is in the Premier League. If they buy it for 100 and something million, I know they put up,
125
I know they
million.
put up numbers, and they stack numbers like Bruno Fernandes. You are nothing. So I understand that, but again, it's a player, new culture, new team, new everything. So the German team, like you said earlier, I said they're no rich, and I have to tell you why they're no rich is because of one of the guys they have in the midfield. You get one of the guys they have in the midfield. He's been underrated, but he's one of the players that both big teams and small teams are scouting. Talking about Steeler now. They have a solid, and Pascal Grob. They have a solid midfield, if you ask me. But the thing is, if they go forward, can the people up front finish the chances? Because we saw what Made yesterday doing. I don't think he was kind of proactive in the match yesterday. He was basically here or there. You get last match, somebody else started ahead of Made. This German team has everything in them. But the thing is, they don't have the quantity of squad like the French national team. Now that's where the quantity of
you talk about the multitude of stars and talents,
multitude of quality, not even stars. And you don't have to be a star. You just have to have that quality.
You can be a star.
You get, because if you're talking about star, Bakola for me no be star, but he has the quality to just come in and you see him
for
stand
you
out.
Bakola na
you
sure
get maybe star.
Na star
him be star.
Bakola na
for like 4 or 5 years. They star na what
that one na your opinion.
You get, so they don't have the quantity of that quality in their side, but they have the quality. At least they have that quality to starting 11, but substitute bench no. Because when you see when they came in the second half, a lot of things change.
Yeah. For me, I'm
played for Brighton. Coming in this, I think he's at Turkey right now. Undev playing coming in the second half to get them the winning goal. Sings a lot of songs for him.
For me, I'm more concerned about the failure of the Ghana national team now to be able to shut down some of the advances of this German midfield. Because if you look at it, they packed 5 people at the back and then they packed the midfield and left a lone scapegoat up forward in Adu, which was totally uncalled for. You are playing with one of the best wingers in the EPL right now. Talking about Semenyo, you also have another firebrand winger there. You talk about Ayu. Ayu should have, for me, I would have rather played Ayu either up forward as a false 9, put in somebody on that position Ayu is, then drop Partey to his normal position. Bro, hold down that midfield and then let's take the extra body in defense and put it up forward.
Okay, let's see. We are Ghana qualified for the World Cup, but they decided to start their coach Adu because of, I think he's in 5 games winning losing streak, so they sacked him and he's not going to be there with the World Cup. They didn't win their last game.
Okay, now let's go back to John was kind of waxing really cold about it. I think this is the problem we have with homegrown coaches. You just get them the job, expect them, and give them a target that
and
is
show them
beyond,
zero respect, bro. At the end of the day, come on,
that is beyond a target that is beyond. Because I don't think this man has been up to 2 years on the job. He's like immediately on the job.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, part of them they sacked him because he didn't have he didn't qualify for the Nations Cup, but we are not Ghana, so they should fix their problem. They are playing the World Cup. Okay, let's talk about today's game quickly, guys. Today's game, let's start with the World Cup qualification in Europe. The finals of their players will happen today. All game will happen the same time by 7:45. Remember, we have adjusted our clock. Us and Europe now had the same time. We play at the same time now. So the early kickoff in the Premier League will not be 1:30. It's going to be 12:30 from next weekend. So for you guys to know. Okay, for today's European World Cup qualification in Europe is Bosnia will play Italy, Czech will play Denmark, Kosovo will play Turkey, Sweden will play Poland. Okay, let's start with the easier one, Kosovo versus Turkey. Turkey should be qualifying for the World Cup for this one. If you look at it based on how they play, who wins in this one? What do you think happens in this one?
I said it before, I'm going to be backing Turkey. Yes, irrespective of Kosovo, no disrespect to them, but Turkey. They should have enough quality in that side to be able to win and win comfortably. So, backing Turkey for that one.
That should be supposed to be the easiest game for Turkey, but anything can happen in football. But also, who do you think goes through?
I think Turkey goes through, but Kosovo has everything in them to go through because they've shown why they need to be here. Because they're like the nation that will tell you, see, we know we are not big, but we'll fight every battle to get to the finish line. And I think they are fighting real good. So I'm not going to take anything away from Kosovo, but I am biased to, now.
When we look at, let's not even go there because if we look at history, it's been total shutdown. Kosovo, I don't think has ever won Turkey in any game, and they've been conceding bags of goals. So
it can change
let's
now.
see. It can change, of course. Obviously, it can change, but the talent pool at Turkey has only gotten better. It hasn't dropped off.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game.
The front two for Kosovo plays in Serie A and Spanish La Liga. Maroki, I bet to be named. I know I've seen that face somewhere in the La Liga against Real Madrid, one of those matches, either one of those teams. But now, if you look at these players and you tell me it's because of Turkey over the years, we've seen. I think in this studio you told me we've always been beating you guys, and we ended up playing a draw. Tell me if that match had gone into a penalty. Tell me I wouldn't have won it.
How would he go into a penalty play? This is
so
the
Mallorca striker, Muraki. Then the other guy plays in the Serie A, I think for Juventus. No, not Juventus, but I know he plays for Serie A. So if I had gone into penalty, so what if this game goes into penalty and Kosovo are there for the ticket?
Yeah, well, let's see what happens in this game. Okay, and hopefully we'll get a good game today. Another team or another country that everybody is going to looking out for is Italy. Italy have not qualified for the last 2 World Cups.
And they are struggling to qualify for this one.
And they are struggling to qualify for this one. They are going to play Bosnia. Bosnia has a 40-year-old striker, Zeko, in that team.
About when they fire, please don't besmirch that name. Zeko,
yeah, but he's 40 years old.
He's 40, but he fire past people who be 25.
But Italy has
all it takes. What it is.
Italy is supposed to have what it takes to win this particular game, but Bosnia can pull up a surprise for them. But if you look at this game in general, Italy has Gattuso as their coach now. What do you think? Do you think that Italy has what it takes to qualify for the World Cup this time around?
Like Italy, for me, Italy have been underwhelming. If we are being honest, they've been underwhelming.
World Cup, back-to-back World Cup is somehow.
So that's one. Secondly, for them to be in this part of the competition where you could not get a direct ticket to the World Cup, that's also a knock.
Who they first for that? Let's not Spain.
They finished second. I think so, but they finished second.
Yeah, they finished
that's also a knock. So, like for me, I can still come to this game and it will be a one moment thing. Dzeko will do some magical and they're out of the World Cup entirely.
The same thing that happened with North Macedonia. I think the first or the second World Cup. I can't remember that they didn't qualify. They played North Macedonia in one of these qualification playoffs, and they lost 2-1. It was crazy that I couldn't even believe it that Italy could lose that game. But no. So if you look at this game, what do you think happens in this? Do you think that Bosnia and Zeko can pull up a surprise in this
they
one?
finished second to Norway.
Okay, Norway,
in that group, because Norway didn't lose a single game in the playoff rounds, and they finished second to Norway in that game where they lost 1 game to Norway, I think 3-1 or so. But now going into this game against Bosnia, I'm only concerned about the midfield. Policiano, Barella, Locatelli, Tonali, and the other guy, Federico Di Marco. Now these are the 5 midfielders that can be there. 2 or let's say 3 midfielders, 2 wing backs. I understand the tactics in play now, and the back 3 Bastoni. But the guy up front that they brought in to replace Ademola Lookman that has not been firing so far this season, Retegi. I feel like if they can go in and get somebody else, we talked about Moiskin the other day. I believe Moiskin is not a striker that could be starting for any national team. Don't take my word for it, but if I'm a coach, that guy cannot start for any national team.
The problem is that they don't produce.
Both of them. Like
Retegi might because I've seen his numbers for Atlanta recently.
The problem is that if you don't have a quality striker again now, where you want put
is it Qatar now or Saudi now? That's where Retegi is.
Yes, it's in Saudi Arabia, yes.
So I would say the most, let me say, plausible of the front 2 to score for me is Kim. 8 goals, 1 assist so far this season, 25 games. So it's looking more likely, but
it's looking like the goals are going to come more from the midfield.
Yes.
Than the front
again, yet again, yes.
Because in the last game, Moiskin scored a goal, and we're all here singing him hyper and songs of praises. But
nobody was hyping Moiskin.
Nobody was hyping. Like the guy we criticized, he went on and scored, and I think that's why he's campaigning for Onachi to start for Super Eagles. But let's not get into it now. But I feel like these goals are going to come from midfield and the defense, because set piece will be there. Definitely, there will be set pieces. But from open play, I don't see this Italian team scoring multiple goals.
Okay, let's see. Italy have not qualified for the World Cup back to back, so they have a chance.
I also
to qualify.
Calafiori puts up the work, puts up a good work, because this one now, I will call you out.
Why won't you put in a good performance? He's having a stellar season at Arsenal.
Which stellar season will they bench?
He's having a stellar season at Arsenal.
He doesn't play as a wing back. He plays as one of the centre backs.
That centre back now be the extra body in midfield.
Okay. Sweden will be
Antonio
going to play
Estrabon.
Poland. Sweden is going to play Poland. It's going to be Gyökeres versus Lewandowski. In this particular one, it's going to be an interesting game of football. One of them, so either Gyökeres didn't go, will not go to the World Cup, or Lewandowski will not go to the World Cup. One of them will not make it to the World Cup this time around. But guys, who wins in this one? It's going to be who's going to find the back of the net to qualify, because come on. Gyökeres just scored a hat-trick in
I
the
think
last game.
Lewandowski has had his day in the sun, right? So Gyökeres should go through basically.
Come on now.
Yes,
He's
no,
like 7
like-
years. Let him go for his last World Cup before he retires.
At the expense of Isak, Gyökeres, and a couple of other good players.
When the others were scoring goals in the
And
Where
on
they
this
do
side,
it?
see, there's a
When others were winning matches,
there is
where
a
they do?
Igbo adage that say now when you wake up, now be daybreak for you.
Mhm.
So they've decided to wake up now, and they have it in their hand. So they can decide to punch their ticket to the World Cup by knocking Poland out, and with all due respect, Lewandowski have already signed out of national team football. He just came back. So let it not be as if he's one kind on cow,
Okay.
a holy cow that cannot be
who
touched.
wins in that one?
Anybody
wants to
can
go
take
through?
it.
Yeah.
Anybody can. I'm not this one. I know really concerned. Anybody can take it. I have players on both sides, but I have enemies on both sides as well. I have plenty of enemies on both sides, and most of my enemies are on
You have Abele on one side,
and most of my enemies are on
that same
on the
side.
Polish side, because Matikash, Aston Villa, Kiwa, former Arsenal player, just natural hair. Then Bednarek of Southampton before. So it's like these three players, they know how to lose or how to open up themselves for the attackers to open them up and score goals. And most of them are playing in the midfield and defense. Now, you're playing a back three. I think it's a 3-4-3 Poland have played in recent games. Matikash likes to go forward, but also likes to defend, which for a right back to be that in a midfield of four, it means two of the people up front to have to come down to defend. And one of the person in the midfield or in the defense will have to come back up to attack or join the midfield. So it's going to be a very congested midfield for the Polish side to play. While on the other side, there's one person I just don't like. It's Victor Lindelof.
Okay, who goes through? Who goes through?
But again, I have Alanga, I have Gyökeres, even if I like, and Good Mountain, who plays for South, I think Burnley at the other time. So these three players have everything to break down the pace, the energy, the pass, the vision. Even Ayari that plays for Brighton and my boy, my personal favorite. So I feel like Sweden
So who goes
through. I
Sweden,
feel
okay.
like
Well, I don't know who I'm going to support in this one.
I get not
Lewandowski
be
or
not
Gyökeres.
by your own personal players.
I not give personal player for
Your
them, but
personal players, and you get Naira, I mean Nairen.
I just want
That guy.
I just
You know
want
him now. He's your guy.
I just want Lewandowski. I just like Lewandowski though, but I don't know if he's going to make it. But if they're going to make it to the World Cup, they have to fight for that against Sweden with the informed Gyökeres scoring a hat-trick in the last game. So let's see what happens in this game today. Okay, finally, Czech will play Denmark. Denmark should be favourite to win, but again, anything can happen in football.
That's
So
football,
who goes through between Czech and Denmark? If you look at Denmark's squad, they get scores players small,
Like,
Hoyland and all that. But who goes through? Who goes through?
for me, it's too close to call, and I'm not really interested either way between both of them. But why not Denmark? At least they have a credible team.
Yeah, they have a credible team. If you look at
Yes,
it,
the only sentimental feeling for Czech is when I remember back in the days of Poborski and some of those former
Boboski,
players.
Rosicky,
You now
Peter
talk
Cech.
about all those kind of.
I like
you know,
Rosicky then. Rosicky was one of my favorite players then.
Boboski
When he was playing at
back then.
Borussia Dortmund before he moved to Arsenal. I loved him when he was playing at Borussia
He was
Dortmund.
a very good player at Borussia Dortmund. Linked
Yes.
up well with
Can we
some
leave
of those
retired
guys.
people and talk about current people?
Okay, who goes
Leave
through?
retired people. There's only one name on that. All the lists that you guys are calling that makes sense, and there's only one that has a gold-plated Bundesliga title, unbeaten man, Mate Kova.
At the end of the day, nobody know him.
At the
Nobody
end of the
rate
day,
him. Nobody rate him.
Manchester
Nobody
United
know
Academy
him.
graduate, #1 goalkeeper for Leverkusen when they won the Invisible, when they did the Invisible in the Bundesliga.
Oga, why you dey bring? Why you dey?
You know me,
Why
but
you
now
dey
you
bring?
did
Why you
the
dey
last
bring
time.
Manchester United
The last match wey they
Academy
play, the last
whatever?
match.
No, so why you dey bring Man U enter this conversation?
hat-trick. I
Your
just want
own goalkeeper dey the other side. Emerson.
But you brought up Manchester United when you started it.
no, wait, sorry.
Bro,
You want to
I
fire
was
Manchester
using
United?
an analogy.
No, let's go back to let's go. I just wanted to just state it there that the guy has. If you're talking
Your
about
goalkeeper
I
dey
feel
go
like-
post.
I
He
feel
dey
like-
call Man U
let
academy
me finish.
project.
I feel like the guy when he won the Invisibles at Leverkusen. And the topic of the day is Leverkusen, not Manchester United. I just told you where he came from, to where he is. Manchester United Academy graduate, Leverkusen top
Moving on.
Now, aside from that guy, we have Patrick Chick, and we have what's it called, Kofal. My boy Kofal. But I feel like Kofal shouldn't be starting.
Even Sunchek too.
You get Sunchek, no, they never start for a very long time, and I don't think he'll start this match.
Okay.
But now going into the Danish side, you get I just like Damsgaard for a person. Højbjerg, Damsgaard, Højman. These are destroyers playing in midfield. You have two destroyers playing as your defensive midfielders, which means any ball that crosses that line, they are there to make the tackles, they are there to recover the ball and make forward passes as well, and make those runs. So they can control and they can destroy anybody coming at them or as their defense, which is a good solid. I think it's a solid backing for the back.
That midfield is
just
really strong.
It's just strong.
Damsgaard alone, you're now throwing Højbjerg of Spurs back
Spurs,
in the day.
Højbjerg of Spurs. You know how Højbjerg make his tackles. And Højman, you know how they make their tackles.
Forget
so
Højbjerg, man.
It's
that
like
guy is crazy.
They are solid in midfield. They don't need extra body in midfield. That midfield is solid. They can do the job.
My concern is mobility on the wings to deliver the ball to the man up forward.
Now that's even that midfield, because now still the midfield can still deliver the ball to the front of the midfield, the flanks, or perhaps to the front three. I don't think if Eriksen is not starting, there's no creativity.
Link up and some
Okay,
other things.
let's see what happens in that game. It's going to be interesting. Bosnia will play Italy, Sweden will play Poland, Czech will play Denmark, then Kosovo will play Turkey. Four countries.
Even your guy, they use and do centre back.
Four countries will play. Will qualify for the World Cup. After today, we'll see who's going to make it to the World Cup. 4 teams in Europe. Okay, let's move out to the international friendlies. The Intercontinental FIFA Intercontinental Club World Cup will happen today, and our own DR Congo will play today. I almost skipped it, but if you look at those playoffs, they moved to the final. They didn't play the semi-final of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they moved. DR Congo moved to the finals. Okay, guys, if you look at those games that will happen today, Jamaica will play DR Congo. So who wins in this game? What do you think will happen in today's games?
For me, I'm actually not really interested because we should be in that final. Unfortunately, we are not there.
You have to look to enter the final.
It not concern me like. It not concern me, but people where they. Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Jamaica will play DR Congo. So
Jamaica,
people they beat you go. But
Jamaica.
now I'm supposed to play this final now, eh?
Now somebody you don't want me. Now so they play final. It's fine.
But see, let's be honest. Jamaica. If you look at the way Jamaica qualified in the last game, 2-1 win. I think 2-1 win in the last game. They played a solid football. I've not just been able to pinpoint my hand on who is going to start, who is not going to start, because they have a solid team. They have a good. I'm not going to say they have the quantity of stars or the quality of.
When you say solid team, I look you again.
No, like they have a solid team. It's like we always say, it's not about the star players you have, it's about the unit. And the team is the unit. I think they have a solid team. They play together most of the time. Look at the massive attack, massive defense. And I think the same thing goes again for the Congolese team as well, where they play massive attack, massive defense.
Are we supporting our African brothers today? That's the thing.
If you talk about African brothers, it's all in African brothers.
So of them will be African brothers, I beg. It's Congo, please.
For my own map, it's all in African brothers, so I'm supporting the two of them.
For Lumumba, please go through.
Okay, let's see. It's going to be an interesting finals today. DR Congo, we will play Jamaica today by 10 p.m. today. Then early morning, Iraq will play Bolivia in the other semi-final by 4 a.m. in the morning of Wednesday. Iraq will play Bolivia in that one. So who wins in that particular one too? Iraq versus Bolivia.
I think Bolivia is going to win. I don't think Iraq can do much, but it is what it is. For me, I'm actually dispassionate towards both teams, but I think Bolivia from that South American
Iraq. Okay, let's see who goes through. But an interesting game will go to be with Congo versus Jamaica in that game by 10 p.m. today. Let's hope that our African brothers feel. Remember,
I think they started the AFCON playoffs.
Remember, DR Congo beat Nigeria on penalties to advance to the finals of this intercontinental football. But let's see. It's actually enter Confederation World Cup qualification. But let's see if DR Congo can make us proud and reach the World Cup. If they go to the World Cup, we have now 10 African teams representing Africa in this World Cup, which is actually massive for us. Probably 10 teams have more opportunity to win the World Cup.
As if they beat Jamaica now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we beat Jamaica, if they beat Jamaica, then they will probably going to represent in the World Cup. Okay, let's go to other international friendlies. Let's start with Nigerian Super Eagles. We are going to play the second friendly game today in Turkey. The boys are in Turkey. They are going to play Jordan in Turkey around 6 o'clock, 6:30 today. Okay, guys. If you look at the first leg, was good. We play good football. I can't just remove my eyes from that Lookman pass to Adams to score that second goal. It was a beautiful goal. But the question everybody is asking is that it's supposed to be a change side. 3 days ago they played, or 2 days ago, so we should be seeing more new players, probably players that did not even feature at all in the last game to play in this particular one. So, but if you look at it, who do you think starts in the attack, especially because everybody is still saying Akos should start, then Onwuachi should come in, but I feel that Onwuachi should start this game. At least he deserves it. He's the highest goal scorer in Turkey.
Yeah, before we talk about who should start and who shouldn't start, first and foremost, congratulations to Bruno Yemechi.
Yeah, his wife gave birth, yes.
Yeah, so credit to him, credit to his family and all of that. But talking about the Super Eagles now and who should start, please. Onwuachi on the bench. QED. That's just my thing. Like, we could have called a couple of other characters to come into our attacking positions until he earned that position, either by coming in as a sub and creating something for the team, scoring for the team. You do not yet deserve to have a starting berth, even if you want to shift the team around. In fact, there are teams out there in Europe that you can shift everybody in that team, but there are some key positions that you cannot change.
I told you Arukodele didn't come. Osimhen is not available. Ako cannot play all the games.
Yes.
Because it's an international friendly. Now that leaves room for only 2 people. Fago Lawal and Paul Onachu. Now, he's a young player, do this, do that. People say he's a young player, they lack the experience and all of that. But please start him. Because now I feel like this is the period where we'll be scouting for players for the future. So Fago Lawal should be one of those players that should be starting for the Super Eagles, if you ask me, in the front line. Onachu, like I said, he might be starting this game or he should be on the bench, but he's going to play definitely. He played the last game. I think he played 30 minutes in the last game. He's going to play again in this one, but you start the young players and see what their strengths are. That's the way the game. I think that's just the way to know if this person is leaving the national team, who is going to replace them.
So, but my concern with regards to that actually is you would want to win this game, basically. Like for me, anything you want to do, if we are not winning Jordan, I'm not up for that.
The players
so I would rather we start a strong team and then 40 minutes or whatever, you can now substitute all the substitutions you want to do.
The players should have put in the work in training. So Fago Lawal playing for Victoria Pleasant is a good start. I'm not campaigning for any player now. I'm not going to be scouting any player for the manager, but I know these players have done their jobs on training ground. I feel like the manager has the final discretion at his palm. So go in there, show your work, play 40 minutes of football. I think this is just the time where you say, since you can change the team 3 times or 4 times, you can do substitutions more than 5. Play these guys. After 15 minutes, take them off.
Okay, if you look at injury, we have a little bit problem with injury in the camp. Our goalkeeper Okoye picked up the knock, so he's not going to feature at all this year. So he's going to go back to his club side at Udinese in Italy. As John just said, Bruno Yemechi left camp because his wife gave birth, so he has to leave camp. You have Ajayi that has a knock too. That is not going to feature in this game. So we have a little bit of injury problem. So most players that did not even started might even start in this one because of this game. That game will happen by 6:30 today. But if you look at it generally, you think that our coach is doing a great job. I think he should stay there and do more job. The new Super Eagles. Look at the way we play against Jordan. Look at that pass. Look at the play. Even the first goal, one touches before Simon scored that goal for the first goal. So I think we are a good team now.
Yeah, I think we are a better team than we were before Eric Chelle. Simple. he didn't have the numbers coming to the country. If you looked at his record, ab initio of the Super Eagles job, it was terrible. It was totally less than 1.1 points per game in before taking up. But since taking up the Super Eagles job, look at our progression. Look at, forget about the results, though, even though the results are a key component of what we use to assess performance. Look at the quality of play. It's been improving from day one. Look at the results. It's also been improving too. Look at the people we've discovered new light in that we didn't even know before. You talk about the discovery of Benjamin Frederick, you talk about a couple of other players. Is also part of his credit too, because he's done a fantastic job. So yes, he's done a good job. I think as at international football, there's not really enough friendly and enough summer camps for you to bring a new crop of Super Eagles in and kind of bed them through the process. So you just have to pick your moments. You can pick your moments in a friendly game. You could lose the friendly game, Nigerians will come for you. You could also feel the strong team win the game, Nigerians will still come for you too, that you are not bedding in new players. So I think he should just do what he wants to do with this team and continue from there.
Also, you should keep building.
I just mentioned it in passing. The qualification for AFCON has begun. They are in a preliminary release where Somalia is, all this Mauritania, Eritrea, they are still playing AFCON qualifiers. By the time they get to the main qualifiers, we will know who we are going to meet in those stages. But now, looking at this team, I said it might be the last international break we have this year. It might be after the World Cup to go back to international break. But it doesn't stop you from scouting more talent. Because when you're dropping a list to camp, you're dropping about a list of 50 players, 35 players or more, 35 or more. So it's between 35 to 50 players. Where you want to see the 50 players? And the question be that. So camp opens 1 week before. You invite everybody, a week to the main camp where the main players are, your star players are going to arrive. A week to that day, you tell them, okay, we've gotten a players. You let the ones that are going to be let go home to continue their season elsewhere or continue their season at home. Then when the players come back, you know your players or the players you've already scouted from this whole camping team. So I feel like it's a season of build. You get the World Cup, you're not playing the World Cup. So this period is a period where you scout for multiple players. That could come in. The 21-year-old, 23 years old. Yeah, that
also positions that we are lacking in too, because we also need to look
let's
at
be honest.
them.
Let's be honest here. We have two wonderful right backs. You get two beautiful, wonderful right backs, Ola Aino and Osai Bright. Outside these two, I can't put my hands on another person. Maybe Benjamin Frederick.
Actually, need to
Maybe no. I see outside these two. Who again you want to put here? Benjamin Frederick. But now you're talking about Benjamin Frederick. He's also good at centre back. And now go back to the right back. Bruno Yemechi is a wing back.
They're not going to.
Now I'm just saying scouting. I'm just talking about the scouting period.
I think they should just go down.
I
think they should just go down and look at the structure of this spike. You know your core players already.
We know the core.
Yeah. We know the core.
Also know
so we know the young ones are going to come and replace them.
Apart from young ones, we know the core. We also know the age profile of these players. So what that means is that if you have, let's say in the right back position, we have two people in the 28-year bracket, you obviously know that you should be scouting a younger alternative that can come in. So look at the profiling as well as the numbers in position.
Exactly. Okay, but let's see what happens.
Go scout 30-year-old man. Let's see what 21 to 23.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with Nigeria Super Eagles. We'll play Jordan by 6:30 today. Hopefully, we'll win our second game. It's just a mini tournament happening there in Turkey. We won our first game, 2 goals, 1 against Iran. Now we are going to play Jordan by 6:30 today. But let's see, what's your prediction for that game? Your score?
It has to be a 4-0 win.
4-0 win, yeah.
You know it ordinary Iran 4-0.
You don't consign me. You don't consign me.
See, let's say maybe because of goalkeepers, a change.
Okay.
I would say maybe a 3-1.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go to other friendly games that happen today. We'll get your predictions. Then we'll start taking phone calls. Norway will play Switzerland today. Who wins? Depending on who is playing, Sha.
Depending on who is playing, Norway plays.
Switzerland. Yeah, Switzerland.
Depending on who is playing, Norway.
Okay.
You saw the way they played against Germany in the last
I doubt.
and the way we talk about goal machines, Ireland is a goal machine, yes.
I doubt the Hawk is going to be available.
I don't think he's going to play this game.
I doubt he's going to be available.
That's what I'm saying. Wait now, goal machine for they call them. Then Brie and Bolo is another goal machine.
That one,
Even
low
if you know the
budget,
score, if you know
low
the score for a,
budget
you
go
see,
machine.
if you know the score for a club, you score for national team. There's no national team game that he starts that he doesn't
Okay,
score
let's
goals.
see. Okay, England will play Japan today around the same time that others are playing the World Cup qualification by 7:45. Yeah, England will play Japan. Tuchel was talking to the press, saying that he's disappointed, a little bit disappointed because most of his players have left. Saka left, Madueke got injured, left. Rice came in and left.
Those are played the first match.
No, Saka just came for the second game. They had a third, they had to go back, send them back because of
normal antics now.
So Rice left. A lot of players left too. Rice left. Madueke is injured. Saka is back. About Foden, I think Foden too. Even John Stones left. Even that one, they play football. Smartin don't get.
He's just back.
Yeah, Smartin don't get knocked. But England versus Japan, who is winning this one? England is playing at home.
It's a no-brainer. England should be winning, with or without some of these other guys. See, I don't see it as a knock on England, though, not having Saka and the likes available.
They have squad there. They have Rashford. They have
We need to see
Rodgers.
other people. You forget about Rashford first and foremost. We need to see other people coming. We need to see other players